The last time I met this guy, it went horribly wrong. But I met him again anyway. And I guess the meetup location could have been better. We met at the woods at 2 a.m. I am literally the middle of nowhere. Stick around to find out what happened. Welcome to Gay Talk. Yes! So this video is part 2 to a video that I filmed about a month ago. The video was titled, "This Grindr Guy Was Perfect at First." And it's basically the story where I talk to you guys about me meeting someone on Grindr who was my dream man at first. He was perfectly well looked after his hygiene, was quite hot, was quite masculine, and we ended up going on a second meet. And on the second meet, he was unhygienic, didn't take care of his personal appearance, and was a complete opposite to the first meet. So in this video, this is a part 2 because I stupidly decided to meet this guy again. I don't know what was going through my head, but I thought, do you know what? Let's give him a third chance. Because a lot of you guys were commenting saying, oh, maybe he was just having a down day. Maybe he had a twin brother that randomly came up to your Grindr meet. But I can assure you, he doesn't have a twin brother. But if you haven't yet watched that video, go and watch it. I'll put it up here now. Because like I said, this is part 2 to that. So that will give you context, and then this will give you the next part of that story. So this was 2 weeks at the time of recording this video. So this would have happened at the start of July. I was just sitting down one evening at about 9 or 10 o'clock, and my sex drive was insanely high. I would probably say the highest it's ever been. Now, we all know sometimes the right hand can satisfy you and whatnot, but for me, as I've gotten into my 20s more and more, I don't want to use the right hand all the time. I want to actually get out and experience intimacy. I want to experience love. There's no point in fantasizing about it. And this particular night, I definitely wanted to meet a guy. It just so happens that on this night, I was talking to the guy that I did part 1 of this video on, as we were always talking as friends, even after the bad experience had happened. And like I say, this night, I was in the highest sex drive I'd ever been in. This guy, I think, was in the mood as well. And we were talking for like 2 to 3 hours about hookups and stuff. I think at that point, I kind of knew in my head that, you know, I might actually go and meet him. So we were kind of talking about planning a meet. And he says to me that if you want to meet tonight, I can't drive. I've had a drink. You're going to have to drive out to me. I'm about 15 miles from your city, and we'll have to do it outside. Now, I'm usually a classy man. I don't like to meet outside or stuff like that. I'd much rather be on a nice comfy bed and having a good experience. However, this night, it was going to happen. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be wondering, why on earth would you meet someone when last time the meet went so bad you ended it early? And all I can say is I believe in second chances. I don't know if the guy was going through a hard time that day. He might have been going through some family stuff. I don't know. I just had a gut feeling to give him a second chance. So anyway, the conversation developed, and we were both talking about things that we want to do in the hookup. And we were solid that we were definitely going to meet each other that night. Now, I wasn't familiar with his area or anything like that. So it was a lot of trust I put into him. I said to him, whereabouts are we going to do this? Is it going to be on your private land? Obviously, because I'm not really keen on doing the whole outdoor thing. Granted, this was going to be about 2 o'clock in the morning. Is there people that's going to see this? Is your private land, you know, closed off to the public? All that different stuff was going through my head, because the last thing I want is to be going and doing a hookup and someone being able to see us. How embarrassing would that be? So we started talking about where we were going to do it. He sent me the location of a bit of the woods that we were going to meet, and it was happening. It was going to be happening. So keeping in mind, as we're communicating just now, arranging this meet, I'm lying in my bed. The time is about 1 o'clock in the morning. What is going through my head? How am I feeling? I'm feeling nervous whilst feeling excited. My sex drive is insanely high to the point that I'm not even thinking straight. I'm just interested in the hookup. And I guess I'm feeling very, very shy at the same time. But this one thing kept spinning around in my head this whole time. I kept thinking, is this guy going to judge me for cancelling me early last time? Is he going to think that I'm nasty and try and get revenge for the fact of I said that his personal hygiene wasn't good? All these different things were constantly going in my head. And there was times I was thinking about chickening out. But again, like I said, the sex drive made that impossible to chicken out. I guess I should have been very cautious about meeting the guy in the woods at 2 a.m. But that didn't cross my mind. Again, I put it down to the sex drive just being so high. And looking back at it, it's a bit dangerous. Do you know what I mean? But I think in my head, I just knew that I'd met this guy 2 times beforehand and I knew that I could trust him. Now, for a lot of gay people, at this moment in time, the right hand comes out, the urge goes, and that's it done. But for me, I had that choice and I didn't do it. Again, I wanted the intimacy. So I get my clothes on, I go down to my new car outside and head off to meet this guy at 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, as I get into my car, I make sure that my chewing gum's there because I want a fresh breath. I make sure I've got juice in that there for after the meetup. And I start getting nervous. Start up my nice new car, get the tunes pumping, and head off for the rough location where I think we're meeting. Again, he kind of highlighted it on Snapchat maps where we're meeting, but he didn't turn his location on, which made it so hard to meet him. So I set off, I'm driving along, I'm listening to some beautiful Pink music, and I take the wrong turn. I get roughly in the radius of where I'm meeting him. I go up all these single track roads. I end up on someone's driveway at 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, bearing in mind, I'm driving my new car. I'm getting stone chipped like mad because I'm in the countryside going up single track roads with loads of potholes ruining my suspension. I end up on someone's driveway at 2 o'clock in the morning with an old man standing in his dressing gown at his living room window, seeing me doing a donut in his driveway to come back out again, scared, petrified. And then I'm like to this guy, send me your Snapchat location. Like, seriously, I am lost. This is a moment in time in my head where I'm thinking about, is this guy setting me up? Is this guy not actually going to meet me? Why has he not turned his Snapchat location on before now? It would have been so much easier for me just to look at him on Snapchat maps, put my phone in the holder and drive to him. Like, all these things are going around in my head to the point that I seriously consider turning my car around because I'm in fight or flight, starting to panic like mad. But again, the sex drive is high, so I continue. So he ends up sending me his location. I start driving. He says, go to the top of this road, turn left, and then go up the road a bit, and you'll see a turn in, go down there, and we'll meet down there. So I obviously start driving to the location he's given me. And as I'm driving along this dark country road with woods at both sides, there's absolutely no houses nearby. I see him walking along the road with his hoodie on. So it's just this guy with his hands in his pockets, a hoodie over his head, walking along. And I felt a bit shady. I felt a bit creeped out. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to slow down. I'll put my high beams on. I'll look at his face before I open the door and make sure it's him because obviously I'm in my car. So I look around. It's him. I will unlock the door. I let him jump in the car and he directs me where we're going to go. Now, as soon as he jumped in my car, I instantly felt relieved, I felt good, and I felt de-stressed. A few reasons for this. Number one, I realised it was genuinely him. Number two, it was like the first meet. He was actually proper taking care of himself again. It looked like he had just came out of a shower, so he was fresh. And I wasn't being set up. So I'm feeling good at this point, and my sex drive is getting higher. So we need to pull over as fast as we can and get the business done. So obviously, I cannot go into too much detail about the meet itself, but what I will say is it went extremely well. The first meet with a guy that I had, it was fantastic. The second meet, he let himself down. Going on to the third meet, he came again like he'd looked after himself. He was hygienic. He had just been in the shower. He was wearing good clothes. It was a good impression. And that just made it a more enjoyable experience. Yes, it was in the middle of the woods. But again, my gut told me that it would be safe. So I listened to my gut and I did it. Now, I wouldn't recommend anyone else do that, but I did. So I'm going to chuck in a quick clip here that I took the night after I just done the meetup. I guess I just did another silly thing. A lot of you guys would say it's silly, but we're young and we're naive and we do things that we kind of don't really think about. So I've just had a nice hookup, and when you've done a hookup, you'll know, you start thinking, why did I go to that place? Now, it took me about 10 to 15 minutes just to find the country road this guy was talking about, right? In my new car, going over all these potholes. Wow. What a lovely meet. What can I say? You've got to get out there, people. You've got to get out there. I thought I'd just seen someone there. Oh my God, that was creepy. I'll show you where I am. I am literally in the middle of nowhere. And it's creepy, so I'm going to get out of here. But yeah, literally in the middle of nowhere. Just woods all around. now I've got to go and try and find myself out here. So I'll speak to you guys in the video. So yeah, as you can see from that last clip, it was in the middle of nowhere. At one point, I thought I seen a guy in the distance, and I was stupid enough to open the door and show you guys where I was. Why would you do that if you thought you've just seen someone? I honestly do not know. But what's my takeaways from this video for my audience watching? Well, firstly, I would not meet anyone at 2 a.m. in the woods, regardless of if you've met them before or not. Sometimes you're better ignoring the sex drive and just meet at safe locations like a hotel, like a bar, or stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I was just naive that night, so please don't do what I did. Please make sure that you're safe during your meets. For all I know, this guy could have tried to take revenge because I called him unhygienic at the previous meet. But you know what I mean? I just trusted my gut and went with it, and luckily nothing happened. So again, it was daft what I did. Don't do what I did and meet someone in the woods at 2 a.m., please. My takeaway and reflection to my audience is simple. Life is precious. Life is good. Don't risk your life, and meet in safe locations. That's my takeaway for you guys. What did you guys think of this meet? Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you've done something stupid like this, again, leave your comments below. And if you want to tell me off, leave your comments below. I'll read through them all, I promise. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe, and share the video. By subscribing, you show me that you love my content, and it does truly inspire me to create future content for you guys. Comments and likes also push the video out to more people, so I would really appreciate that, guys. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.